Sure, she had her great first night home with the mammy and the daddy, her brothers and sisters, and Sister Marguerite had the room to herself where she didn't have to share with the brats. That's her brothers and sisters. And she could smell a cooked Irish breakfast. She came out of the bedroom door and she goes, "Oh, Jesus," she said, "that's great. The smell of home cooking." So she thought, what do I do now? Do I have a wash, a strip wash? Or do I go downstairs and eat to me heart's content? So Mammy shouts up, "Are you there? Are you there, Marguerite? Breakfast is ready, pet." So she goes running down the stairs. And there before her eyes is the feast for a king or a queen. There's the black pudding with the white pudding, sausages, fried bread, potato cakes, tomatoes, fried egg, mushrooms, and the bacon. Oh, and then the mammy comes with something else, and it's the beans, the blanket lifters they call them. And she sat down and Mammy said, "Do you want a pot of tea for yourself, pet? And I'll do you some toast when you're ready." "Oh, Jesus, Mammy," she said, "this is great. I've missed this. I've not sat down to a proper cooked breakfast since I left home when I was a young woman, before I married that queer fella. Before I went to work for before I went to work for Father Ted. That's right." "Ah, Ma, you're great. Go on, go on, go on. Should the crack, I've missed it. That's the jokes." And then the phone rings. And the mammy's saying, "Now, how did you know she was here?" She could hear it loud and clear, because there's nothing wrong with her hearing. She said, "Oh, I know she's here." "Well, how do you know?" "I was on the train. And I want to speak to her now." So the mammy said, "Well, it's not convenient. She's having her breakfast, the first ever she's had in years, and you're not going to spoil it, you sleeveen." So she put the phone down on him. And it rings again. So Marguerite said, "Mammy, what is it? You've gone white." She said, "You're not going to believe it, Marguerite, but that bee is minding me to speak to you." "Who, Mammy?" "He followed you on the train." "Who?" "Father Ted." "Oh, Jesus, he's not followed me on the train. He's here in Dublin and he wants to meet you." And I said, "No, you're having your breakfast." "Ah, but Ma, I'd love to speak to him. We've mellowed a lot, Ma. Sure, he joined the community of St. Francis, the Teo community. He's embraced interfaith." "Ah, Jesus, will you stop it? Look, you're a Catholic, that's all there is to it. I'm not listening to any more rubbish. I'll go along with it, but if you're telling me you've converted to Buddhist, whatever it is, you can fend for yourself. No, you can leave the house. I'm not having the parish priest coming up here denouncing us to the public and the parishioners that they've got a daughter who's new age, happy clappy. No, you're a Catholic, and you're staying a Catholic." "But Ma, I never stopped being a Catholic. I've just got to embrace other faiths, pet." So she said, I can hear that feckin' phone ringing again. She said, "Leave it to me, I'll get it." No, you've only come home for the first time in 3 years. I'm going to sort it out. Ma, I'll deal with it." So she goes, "Sister Margarita, it's me." "Who?" "It's the love of your life." "And what do you want?" "I followed you." "Did you now?" "I want us to meet up. I've something to tell you." "Well, you told me you were going to marry me, and that slipped through the window. Now go on with you." "Ah, go on. I don't want to listen to any more of your false, whatever. You built me hopes up and then you dropped me like a pair of drawers. You what? Oh, do you? You want to take me out on a shopping spree? Ah, sure, Jesus. Sure, what can you buy me? Sure, I'm wearing the habit, the denim habit. Well, I meant something personal for yourself that nobody can see. Oh, you mean like lingerie? What? Do they call it lingerie? Lingerie? Okay. Well, I'll meet you at Arnott's at 12 o'clock. And we can go to Mass first at the Pro Cathedral in Dublin. And then we'll do a bit of lunch. And then you can take me to Arnott's. And then you can get your check out. Oh no, they use credit cards. Well, you can let her go for a walk. So she was so excited she put the phone down. And the Ma saying, and what? I said, don't worry, Ma, it's all been sorted. We're both going to Mass at 12 o'clock in the Pro Cathedral. And we light a few candles and say a few prayers. Oh, that'll be great, Pet. Now finish your breakfast and go and have a wash. And just sit and relax and read the morning paper. Or you can put on the television and you can watch what's going on in the world. Oh no, Ma, I don't want to get addicted to the telly. Anyway, tell me, what's happened to Coronation Street since I left? Well, how long have you got? Well, a lot's gone on in 3 years, Pat. Anyway, I'll go and get ready. So she decides to spruce herself up and put on a little bit of the smellies. She decides to make herself look her best, so she spruces her lovely habit, fixes her hair under the veil, and puts her cape on. And in her little bag, she's got her hankies and she's got her pocket money that Mother Abundancy gave each of the sisters. And she's got a bag of boiled sweets. Oh, and a packet of fags. She was a very heavy smoker before she entered, so she's taken up the filthy habit again. So she decides to have a cigarette before she gets out and gets on the bus. And lo and behold, she gets to the Pro Cathedral and there he is, and he's looking gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. She said I could feel a flutter in my heart. Well, anyway, they didn't go to Mass. They went straight to Arnott's. And he took her to this rather exotic line of ladies' personal bits. So he says to me, come here, Mrs. Doyle, I'd like you to try this on. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, how am I going to try that on? You may have to take off my habit, but not at all. The cubicle. What? There's a cubicle there. They give you a little card and you go in and you try them on. But Jesus, what is it? Oh, it's like that Trini thingy. No. Something skimpy, something frilly, and something with a bit of lace and a bit of silk. I've seen the one I want, it's there. Oh, he said, that's a bit pricey. She said, you can afford it. You never paid me a decent enough wage when I was your housekeeper. Well, now you can splash out, you mean old fucker, you. Oh, Mrs. Doyle, look here to me. The least you can do for me is treat me to something really nice. So she cast her eyes on this lovely brassiere with little pink flowers, like daisy cups. And then there was a lovely little satiny vest thing with very tiny straps. I've forgotten what it's called. And then some panties. But in her case, because of the size of her hips, they were passion killers. But lo and behold, at the end of the day, they did all sorts. And she went into the cubicle and she tried them on. And she was made up. It was the bee's knees. It was to die for. And she felt for the first time in her life a woman. So she shouts, Father Ted, will you come here to me now and tell me what you think? She thought, I'm a brazen hussy to do this. So she stood there with her hand on her head and the other one on her hip. And she said, get a look at this. What do you think? He said, Holy Mother of God, you're stunning. It was made for you. You fit into it like a hand in a glove. Jesus, it really does your figure proud. Oh, you're a stunner, Mrs. Doyle. Beautiful. And them little daisy things there, they're lovely. I could just pick one of them. I'll have a go. Well, before too long, I'll tell you now, there was a lot of steam and panting going on in that cubicle, and it wasn't long before all them little daisy cups were plucked. There you have it. The first sin of the day.